Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team Liquid's turn to ban. Radiant team ban. Team Liquid's turn to pick.
Mirana.
Radiant team pick.
Back everybody here to our coverage of the ESL. One is the USA Grand Final. The winner of this best of 5 will advance themselves through to ESL Frankfurt. That means they'll be traveling to Germany, competing for over $150,000 prize cash. Let's get ourselves into the game. The draft's already underway, so let's bring in my co-caster quickly to explain what the hell is going on. Cinder and Man, welcome back for Game 3.
Mirana is aiming for her 60% win rate, is what's going on right now, I think.
Liquid playing the odds game? Is that what we're searching for now?
Well, it worked well last game, why not try it again? Only this time, EG will not be getting Lycan because they chose to ban it. They're like, okay, whatever. We're not having enough success with it and we don't want to give it away. So they try something different with Batrider and Shadow Demon. Not really that different, to be honest, but if I'm Liquid right now, I'm like, okay, last game went really well. The Venge was for us against the Batrider, maybe we just get it again and aim for the same kind of style. Or maybe they mix it up a little bit to not be too predictable, but I think considering how that last game went, they should try to play that same style. Early aggression, great stuns, great fighting, and then keep it cool until they can go high ground.
Well, let's see if they can do that in this game, man. Right now, EG, they're like still Batrider, Batrider SD. They've got combinations that don't reveal too much. I suppose that was kind of like something else I was interested about with EG's last draft. The fact they picked up all 3 cores straight from the start, revealed everything they were basically doing in the game. Straight from the get-go. And now Team Liquid are doing not the same, but they're grabbing themselves the Invoker. They've got themselves the Mirana. They're showing their hand just a little bit more than EG is here in the early stages. For the trade-off, though, it's well worth it. You got an Invoker and a Mirana, dude.
10 seconds remaining.
Anyone's gonna be sad at getting those 2 heroes.
I think this is a good way for Liquid to start off the draft. Of course, they don't have a support now, so EG can try to ban out supports that make it hard for Batrider. I would imagine both Venge and Disruptor being choices. Ban out the Venge first. We'll see if they choose the other one as well, and just make sure you enable the Batrider more than you did in the last game, and draft around being able to fight with it. Because I feel like Universe actually had a good game, but they couldn't really make use of it. And with Lycan out of the picture, we might see a different kind of playstyle from EG where it's not just that they don't have Lycan, but they also don't need to worry about giving it away. So we're just going to play differently. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Shadow Fiend being on Arteezy this game, or just seeing... Oh, this gets banned by Liquid. Now I would be surprised to see it. I think Arteezy should play a carry-oriented hero. As in the first game where he played OD and did an excellent job. His Invoker was fine, as I mentioned, but it's just not the way that EG has had great success. It's mainly when Arteezy is playing these kind of heroes that just hit hard with farm. OD, Shadow Fiend are 2 of his best heroes, obviously, but there are also many other choices he can go for. Now, with Lycan being out, that's also one of his trademarks, but he plays so many different mid heroes, and as long as they use farm really well to become carries later on, it's an Arteezy hero.
Pretty much want to talk about, apart from saying Dro Ranger should have been added into Arteezy's list of great heroes.
True. That's one of the ones I didn't remember, you're right.
Yeah, just wanted to have that one in there. In this game, though, it's going to be so risky to even pick up that hero. Mirana leaping close, Invoker, he just runs around Invis right next to him and you lose all your extra buff ups. But PPD, he's taking out the Nyx finally, and they pick up a Luna.
So it's turn to pick.
There's a lot more stable carry to come into the later portion of the game. Frees up a lot more as far as your lanes go too, because now you know that bottom lane's going to have a lot of power behind this last hitting effect, so Team Liquid's offlaner just became a lot more riskier to run. And who's really left? Like, I know we haven't even touched on Centaur at all for well, anything. He hasn't been banned or picked so far, if my memory serves me correctly. And then like you look towards your other offlaners, what is Bulba really going to be like looking for here?
Just not the same in the offlane on the Dire. I think that kind of kills the hero if you do that. So Clockwork is of course a great Bulba hero, which is available. I think Okay, so
Actually go for the
Radiant
Centaur.
answer.
team pick.
See,
I think he's gonna have a hard lane.
This is what I'm not so sure about it, because this is a moment where I think like Dazzle is sitting on the edge here for EG, or they go in for the Enchantress Chen. So they get life points behind it, allow them to push out, but more importantly, it's the control over the Centaur. Rubik would be another one I'd throw in towards the mix, because they can just like pick him up, throw him back, and find enough DPS from all these heroes with a Luna buff up too, that they know they can kill off the Centaur and punish the overextension. And Centaur is one of these heroes that doesn't have a plan B.
5
If he doesn't get
remaining.
the lane, if he gets zoned out, there is no plan B. So if EG can control the lane up nicely, or just kill off Centaur and take out these early towers, then there's real problems coming in for Team Liquid, because then Invoker's going to have his left flank completely open, and if he has a TP out, yep, DK can take out mid towers. It's a little bit more passive than the Arteezy here I'd think of, but it's a lot easier to make a comeback if Team Liquid do get an early start in.
This is just such a classic pick for Evil Geniuses. You can't really get more in your comfort zone than this. They have everything they want. They have the Initiator for Universe. They have a strong both defensive and aggressive support in Shadow Demon. They have Arteezy on the Dragon Knight mid. Again, a farming hero who can be a carry later on and put pressure early on. Then the only thing that might be a little unusual for them is having the Luna for Mason. I don't feel like he plays it that much. I could be wrong. But overall, this is just such a solid draft. And I think you're completely right. Dazzle would be awesome for for Evil Geniuses. I think Liquid will ban it here. It's just perfect in this game.
But if they ban out the Dazzle, then the Rubik's picked up.
That's not too big of a worry, though, I think.
When you're stealing Centaur ulti and giving that to like Luna Batrider as well as Dragon Knight, the movement speed, then I'd be worried. Arrows to steal, Cold Snap, now Shadow Shaman's Mass Serpent Wards.
There are really good spells to steal.
Yeah.
In most games with Rubik, when you look over the enemy team, there's always going to be 3 of those amazing spells you can steal, because just so many spells in the game that get amazing when they don't really have a cast point anymore. With Rubik, the cast point is 0.01 seconds, so it's instant basically. And that means the main thing you want to think about with Rubik is, of course, it's great to be able to steal key abilities, but you want to make sure you don't sacrifice your laning. And you're right, Rubik, Shadow Demon together could deal with Centaur, but at the same time, these two heroes should really be getting levels, and neither of them is really... You could jungle the Shadow Demon, actually, somewhat. He's pretty good at farming with Shadow Poison, so maybe that's an option to get levels, but yeah, they're going to ban it themselves, actually, so you know what? They didn't want it to be. They want something else.
Which means they want... This makes TC's banning a lot easier. Just take out the Dazzle.
Yeah.
Take out the Dazzle.
100% get out.
Yep.
Get out the Dazzle. I don't want to play against EG's lineup if they have a Dazzle now.
But then again, would you want to play up against that lineup if they also had a Chen? I know I've been harping a lot on the Chen and Enchantress, but when you got a Luna and a DK, you want some extra pushing power behind him.
Reserve time.
Yeah, but the type, there we go. The type of pushing that they get with Chen is different.
Ooh.
Classic EG again. It's like the last game, okay guys, we're up 1-0, we're gonna try Arteezy's Invoker. It's definitely not his best hero. He's gonna do, he wants to get better at it, he wants to practice it and play it in a serious game. We lost it.
Can they force aggro tri-lane with the Wraith King in this? Because you've still got Luna and SD, which can do a lot of, they can cause a lot of problems for Team Liquid. Up against the Shadow Shaman Mirana, I know it's a little bit more cautious about it.
10 seconds remaining.
The question is there any reason to? I think Centaur can't get experience in this game, in the offlane. He can't even go in the lane. That's the problem, so here's the deal.
But then again, like, putting Batrider up against the Centaur, Batrider should still be able to keep the advantage of that lane. The problem I'm feeling is they do the same thing as they did for TC in the last game. They just give him so much space, and there's no pressure on the defensive lane that Team Liquid can move freely across the map and go, hey, we're not under pressure anywhere apart from our offlane. It's okay if he dies once or twice, and then their offlane actually succeeded. Looking for EG to actually dictate the rhythm of the game.
If I'm EG here, I look at Liquid's heroes and I can see, okay, they don't have a chance of taking the tier 1 tower early, unless if they pick an Enchantress or Chen right now. So if they don't do that, if they don't pick a tower taking support, they just start with Batrider in the jungle. He gets levels there, they keep out Centaur from the game. He can't go in the offlane here if they run a tri-lane lane. Then sure, they're giving Mirana free farm, but they're getting that on Luna too. There we go. There we go. I think it's needed for Liquid to have something for early aggression, because if they sit back and farm, all my money is on EG. Okay, maybe not all my money, but you know what I mean. My money is on EG.
A reasonable amount of money which doesn't push...
I believe in them a lot.
A reasonable amount of money that doesn't put me in financial debt is how much I would put on EG right now.
So Just pick, I have a lot more faith in Liquid's lineup, and especially because of the way they played game 1, where they used it very well. I think that's a good game plan here, and it makes sense for them. They, again, are running the risk of, if this game stalls out, they're going to lose late game, I feel, again, because they have a Mirana carry with a Centaur against Dragon Knight Luna and a Wraith King support, who's actually a really strong support in late game because of Vampiric Aura.
10 seconds remaining.
And Bad Rider, never forget. And Shadow Demon, arguably top 3 late game support. You know, this is a no-brainer for me in late game, honestly. But if Liquid gets a good snowballing going, maybe they can win at 30 minutes. I don't think they should do what they did in game 1.
Stop halfway.
Yeah, exactly. Don't stop halfway. This time they're not pushing into a Dox here, but again, EG's lineup's hard to push into.
Yeah.
Shadow Poison, Bat Rider.
Because how do you even take out the top lane? Because you want to force it with the Enchantress, he puts the Firefly down on the ground, you can't keep your creeps in close, bringing down the tower. And Mirana early on won't be able to force out the tower. If actually, I'm wondering who they leave on this bottom lane as they move down here as 5. Because I'm wondering if they even attempt to dodge Mirana, Shadow Demon, as well as the Enchantress, down inside EG's jungle and bottom lane, with TC down there as well. Switch Coit for the mid, and put Bulba up on the north. Now EG's smoking up to try and check out Liquid's jungle, so they can block this up and stop Enchantress, and maybe this is another point, like, Liquid know that EG's going to do something about this Enchantress. They won't just leave her there. So,
this is
go aggro.
Smart from Liquid. This is a good read on the situation here. Starting in the Dire jungle, in the Radiant jungle. The only risk here for Way2 is if he gets caught out, he's dead. The support duo of EG can actually kill him alone, which...
they're backing up. They're backing up right now.
Oh boy, where does Way2 go?
He can't.
He just blocked the enemy jungle and his own jungle is blocked too. Do they have sentries? They do have 1 sentry on Demon.
That's still only 1 camp.
It's gonna be hard.
The battle
He's gonna guess the right position as well.
Well, he's got to choose, basically, because he can't have all of them.
So Way2 gets one thing that works for him as a DD rune. I'm waiting for the ultimate irony and having Mud Golem spawn in that bottom camp on the Dire side.
Yeah, that would be perfect, wouldn't it?
Because if that happens, then Liquid will be spitting chips. They'll be down 3 camps, so it also means too there's no 30-second aggro. So you can't come out there with like a Harpy or a Wild Wing giving Tornado to help out that middle lane, which means Arteezy will have more space here, and that's his guaranteed bottle. He's already trying to zone out Koi, who went Exort build to start with, and now 30 seconds up, Way2 checks 1 camp, doesn't see him, it's Sadders. Not as bad, and he did have a Wild Wing over on the west camp. Do at least have a Tornado and a Mana Burn creep.
The thing about this is how much Universe can get, I feel. He's playing Bad Rider in the Radiant offlane, which, yeah, when I said he should go jungle, I forgot to think about the fact that he's Radiant. So, of course, he can just, you know, he can at least get a start here in the offlane. If he gets forced out, that's fine. He can turn to the jungle, which is something Bulba can't do. So, Bulba almost got level 2. Speaking of which, he might be open on here. This is going to be tough.
Yep. Hellfire Blast, now it flies out. There is no Lucent Beam though, it's just the aura at the moment, so the Hoofstop will work, but they have more than enough damage with the buff up.
It's an impossible lane. Seriously, he can't go there.
That's why I'm surprised they picked up the Centaur. And like, I put Centaur into a chat trivia last time, saying like I'm pretty sure this guy's got like an insanely low win rate because of exactly this option. Like, there is no option. There is death, or there is hold on your T1 tower and hope that Liquid, that EG lose control out of this lane.
It's just one of those heroes where it makes so big of a difference whether you're Radiant or Dire. It's, you know, we've talked about with Lycan how big of a difference it is that you're Dire than Radiant because of how accessible Roshan is. I think it's actually a bigger difference playing a hero like Centaur offlane on Radiant or Dire, and the same with Axe. And last game, Bulba had a great start. This game, he got level 2, which I actually wasn't even expecting him to get at this point, so he's got that going for him, but it's just incredibly hard in the Dire offlane with this hero, and you see, we're actually seeing exactly what I was suggesting for Universe. He got the level 2, and he's going to the jungle and farming here. This is a really good start for EG.
I'll be interested in Nahaz to see if that 47.7%, how much of it is Radiant, how much of it is actually
Bulba.
Dire. Yeah, he's
so
watching. He getting himself first.
Oh my god.
With wonderful invis rune, lets him set it up, and he caught Bat Rider at his most vulnerable position.
You know, that wasn't just the kill.
Radiant's
Stole half the
tower
experience
is
for the
under
entire
attack.
camp before he did that.
Yep.
So Universe was clearing all of it out for Bulba. He just did all the work for Bulba, and he gets the kill even, man. That's just huge.
Bulba's a full level over the top of him now.
Amazing play from Bulba here, making that decision. That was absolutely perfect. He's gone level 3.5. They get the top tier 1 tower. And what seemed to be a bad start, now Universe is so set back from that. He would have been level 3.5, almost 4. Now he's level 2.5.
Yep. And they can't do anything about it.
Radiant's top tower is under
One
attack.
Invis that they didn't know was there.
Radiant's top tower
Liquid get the
has
maximum
fallen.
benefit.
So this is now how Centaur offlane works. Let's go in and find a Batrider at the key time, because that's always plannable. I do still have one major problem, is the fact that Luna is still looking at a lot of farm up her sleeve. And I don't think Liquid can take this in the late game. With the Wraith King, with the Batrider, with the DK, with the Luna, then the SD, Protection, and Purge. It's just not enough time, and Liquid, I think they know it too. They're forcing the top lane out already. They got a Help Bear on the front lines and just one little minion left, and they're going to force the Wraith King out. But this Wraith King, he's sitting here right now, unable to really come in too close. He doesn't have his ultimate available. He knows it's easy for him to die. They do at least distract him out with Shadow Demon, as well as the Wraith King, so they can keep him out just long enough. Arrow will connect on the top lane. With an enchant as well, they could dish out some kind of damage, but not enough to get a kill.
Now Bulba is going to the bottom lane now. He's going to be level 4 all of a sudden because of this. So that one play, man, it's just absolutely huge how much that meant for the game so far. That's, you know, it's one thing that he finds that rune, but making that decision with it is what's really impressive about it, because many players would just stand in the offlane with the invis and be like, great, I got free experience because of an invis rune. But he realizes Batrider is missing. He knows, he's thinking, what would I do if I were Batrider right now? And it's just the knowledge of how he would play the hero himself that comes into play there.
Oh, he's trying to have a crack at bottom lane.
Very, very impressive. I'll stop talking about that right now, but
he's hoping that yeah, it's going to take a while for you to get over that, isn't it?
I'm over it now. So, speaking a bit about how this game is going to progress now, Liquid did get one tier 1 tower, but as you said, the late game for EG should be stronger here. So I think a lot of the emphasis should be put on Arteezy now, who is almost level 6 and will be able to pressure the tower. Liquid hasn't touched him yet. They haven't even tried to gank him with the Enchantress or stop him, so he has the same farm as Koikvo and the Invoker, who's Exort, by the way. So Arteezy is doing a great job in the mid lane. And he's going to be hard not to crack in the mid game. Liquid can't really... They don't have the sickest single target damage, to be honest, to bring down Arteezy when he gets a BKB.
I think Demon might be a little bit annoyed about his timing of rotation. If he walks straight down into the mid lane, just then he would have caught out the very, very slow courier. While up on top lane, he'll at least catch out the Wraith King. So Shackles to start with, Arrow to combo with, Ether Shock plus the Starfall damage is more than enough to rip through that Wraith King. At the same time, it looks like Centaur for the SD inside the Radiant jungle, where Universe is currently farming up, but the tier 2 tower is lost on top lane for EG. So lose 2 heroes on the map, and a tower for the price they claimed, which was a Centaur.
Liquid is pretty damn good at playing early game. That's...
Oh, Micro Courier, get him away from Enchantress. He at least 2 hits more, at least. I think he actually needs another 3.
Arteezy, he's under a ward though. There's no way Waitsu gets caught out here. Liquid's all 3 early games have been really well executed, so it's great to see that they've been able to kind of overcome the problem they had there. There was the reason they were losing a lot of games was that they never really even came online in their games. But their early game has just improved so much over the last few weeks that this is really good to see. If they can keep up this type of play going into the TI qualifiers now, in about a week's time, they're looking pretty damn good. Maybe that's also why they're performing so well, because now it's like do or die time. So they really have to start making things happen. But
well, I believe Liquid are actually doing a full boot camp now too. Because actually one of our problems with scheduling some of the matches was the fact that Liquid was stuck inside of an important meeting before their matchup. They are actually boot camping and working tightly together, so hopefully this team has managed to find its synergy. By pulling it up at a LAN environment, it's the greatest way to do it. Same time, dude, I'm still looking at this going, you know what, I'm not seeing that much of a difference between the 3 cores from both of these teams. Like, the Centaur is the lowest at 2k, which is to be expected, and how long that blink ticket takes to get up is going to be a big question for me too. But the fact that like DK is nipping on the heels. DK and Luna are both nipping on the heels of the Mirana as well as the Invoker. So there's nothing that's been massively lost from either side here. It's just the supports that have been battling it out. Now Mirana taking a lot of damage up on top lane. In fact, a huge amount of damage up on top lane. What was he being slowed up by? It was, Wraith King?
Oh, I think he took a Wraith Fire Blast.
Okay.
He still has leap ready though, so no problem at all.
He was even forced to stutter step. I didn't think that slow was only worthy of a Wraith King ulti.
I think what Liquid has done in this game so far, though, is that they've traded experience for gold, and the graphs show it completely, because their supports are really low level. Way2's level 4. Okay, Demon just got level 5, so it's not all too shabby, but looking over at EG's lineup, they do have the level 6 on the Wraith King.
Centaurol is coming up. They're coming from middle lane. The Cold Snap's going on the DK, and his Dragon Form just wore off. He's got 6-1 charges up his sleeve. He's also got a Wraith King right behind the line with the Moonlight Shadow protecting him. Liquid want to come over the river, but they don't get the kill. The Centaur ulti goes down, and they're losing their tier 1 tower in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they needed to put some emphasis on Arteezy, but that timing just was a bit off.
TP's coming bottom lane. SD is thinking about disruption. Now we might have to do it defensively. Mirana, though, he throws it on her. Takes the tower, and they'll just back up. There's 2 tier 1 towers lost for no cost for EG.
Yeah, that's absolutely
Wraith King, he wants to fight. He wants to fight. He's coming in with a Hellfire Blast. And who's going to go on? The Cork goes out for Bulba. They need someone in closer than this, and that's what Batrider is there for. The Blink Dagger is up and running, but there's no lasso to use. Bulba is going to be fine. So it's like an optimistic attempted gank by EG.
Still sends a message, though, to Liquid that they know they can play aggressively and they can get stuff done with their supports. And the problem for Liquid right now is that kind of gave it away from me how far behind Way2 was in terms of farm, considering he's a jungler. Was I brought up the total last hits, and he's got 21 CS on an Enchantress at 10 minutes, which, you know, it's a choice he's made. It's not that he's played a poor game, but he's put so much emphasis on pushing the towers that he's sacrificed farm for it. And in comparison, on the other side, you know, Bulba got 16 CS on the Centaur, and his counterpart on EG has 52 in Batrider. So there's just a big discrepancy in farm. And if Liquid keep finding tower kills and get levels on the supports, this whole game plan of theirs that we talked about even before the game started, that they needed to get something done.
Yep.
They started out great. If they don't get a tower in the next 5 minutes, this game is looking really grim for them. Even though they've taken both the top tier 1s, top tier 2s, sorry, both the top towers in 10 minutes. They need more.
Oh, they're supposed to get it. Enchantress can't give them enough yet. She doesn't even have a ranged DPS, so they're just going to smoke. Maybe with a kill, they could transition into something else, but Centaur ulti, and they do find him. And look at DK. He pops up the Haster, and the Shackles are holding him here, and the Centaur stomp, and now Batrider jumps in. They'll bring him down, but Invoker being dragged up. The catcher is there. Disruption. He's still caught inside this Firefly. Flame Break, pushing Kuiper back in again. It passes finally up for Way2 Sexy, but they lose 1 for 1. The 2 mid solos going down, and Wraith King's looking for a little bit more. He's running after them. And this is even something we haven't taken into consideration.
I'm gonna kill the Centaur.
It's worth it. It's extra money and experience. We haven't taken into account what's going to happen when you have both Blink Daggers on Wraith King and Batrider. Like, Batrider's already got his, but you give Wraith King a Blink Dagger as well. We can't deal with that kind of initiation because they've got Centaur ulti as an escape mechanism, Mirana Leap, and Invoker Invis, and then you're basically out. The Enchantress and the Shadow Shaman will have to be left for dead every time.
The problem about these escapes is that Stampede is great, but it does nothing when your allies are stunned, and EG are not playing on slows, they're playing on stuns.
Or Moonlight Shadow.
Stuns.
They're going to get the Hex off on Luna right now, and that means a Ward Trap can also come up. Did he get it right? He did. Shackles the hole him there. Sunstrike for the bonus damage, and Luna trying to cut through. Pops the... Wait, whoa, Mason. He was hoping Shadow Shaman would stay in close for the kill, but he ends up just popping the Eclipse and dying inside of a Ward Trap.
I like how Demon just peeks in a little bit at the end, like, "You're still there? Okay." And then he walks away again. He could have just stayed behind the tree line and waited for the Luna to die there. Just had to look.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking.
A great play here. And this is... No, this Shadow Shaman, I think, is going to play an absolute key role. I think Nahas brought up a stat before that Demon has won his last 4 Shadow Shaman games, and he's won 2 of them in less than 40 minutes combined or something like that. So he likes playing really short official games with that Shadow Shaman. And in Liquid's lineup, these Moss Serpent wards have to come down in every fight, and they have to get the job done. Because without that, I just don't see them having the teamfight potential that EG do.
Arteezy's in trouble. He's up a long way attacking on this tower now. He's got support coming up, but the Centaur is already going to go. Extra TP on the way. He's got 1 charges, and then the Blink Dagger from Bulba. Finally revealed, and Enchantress already takes the last hit here. And Wraith King couldn't get there in time. If actually PPD as well as Zai ran directly west, they would have been there to make that a very even fight. Now they just try and go for a follow-up kill. On to TC, Hellfire Blast will be casted. There's no potential for a Leap Flame Break. Now the Leap will go, where he's already been slowed up. And they may even look for another one. Nope. Enchantress is already on the way out. So again, we see a 1-core for a 1-core trade.
And you've got to say this favors EG in the long run, because while it's all great for Liquid to get these kills, how much they commit to them disallows them from getting towers. And I keep coming back to it, so I've said it enough times.
Shadow Shaman, Hex Ward Trap. This time PPD will die. Then what happens with him?
Demon is so sneaky on this hero. He's such a good Shadow Shaman. It's beautiful to see.
They're going to kill off way 2. Hellfire Blast. Oh, they were trying to decide which one to go first. And then the Satyr even from the jungle, helping him out. Way too sexy, the 4-star, pushing him around a little bit, trying to find some space, but the heals, the sprites really doing some heavy work now. Hoof Stomp in, Double Edge can go on the Wraith King. He's doing ulti up in a Marvel. Now it won't be obviously, because he comes back to life again and just instantly TPs out. No arrow, no Hoof Stomp. Out to safety. The gank, which could have turned really, really bad, only cost him his ultimate and a TP scroll.
Tower is under attack.
They did get the bottom tier 1 tower based off the kill that Demon set up there together with Koikra, so that's going their way. And I think next stop for Liquid is Roshan. They've taken the bottom tier 1. Maybe they take mid tier 1, but that one's going to be hard to claim, I feel. Still, when Last Serpent wards are up and Enchantress tanks Roshan, I think they can fairly easily do it. And unless if Bad Rider gets a really good initiation off, I think Liquid can win the fight in the Roche pit right now because of how strong Liquid is and how distant he is.
Arteezy is in trouble. Got the ulti up, but now it's just going to put it on corner. Disruptor from PPD saves him from the Invoker Sunstrike, and now he turns it over. The Purge is over on Shadow Shaman, and that's a 3-kill streak, which will now be taken by the DK. Bulba comes back in again. He's taken so much damage to the Double Edge. He loses his own life, and again, TC dies in the middle lane.
Wow. That's a game-changing disruption right there. That turned a 0-1 to a 2-0 in the same lane with 1 play.
And overall, it actually ends up being 3 deaths for Liquid, with like losing Mirana in the mid lane too, cost them even harder.
Absolutely huge what PPD did right there with that disruption. I think this is probably PPD's best support hero. I feel like he has such great game sense for where he needs to be with the disruption, and also in late game he makes the right calls with it. It's a hard ability to use because if you cast it on an enemy at the wrong time, you can win them the fight. If you don't get it off on your ally in the right time, you can be completely useless in that fight. This is such an important ability to time perfectly. He does it very, very well, and we see it right there.
Arteezy is praying for a regeneration rune. He just picked up a Shadow Blade, but he can't use it for any kind of combination yet. And rune will spawn top. Regen, but top. And Bat Rider will be able to scout that one out for him.
He might just take it. It's too risky for Arteezy to wait for that.
Roshan starting up. I know, untouchable.
Big chicken.
Yep. Big chicken being frosted
Big
up.
Roshan.
It's slow Roshan.
Yeah. I don't think EG can do anything about this. That's just the lineup here, and Liquid making the right call going for it. This is exactly what they need to do at this point, so gonna get the Aegis on TC. Now the scary thing about this is the way TC has been caught out by the Bad Rider is, I think if he dies once, he dies twice.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's true, he's an amazing Treant as well.
20 for 2.
Treant and Shadow Demon are his 2 best heroes. And it's 2 defensive supports who make big plays by saving allies. So it really seems like PPD has a good sense of how to do that. So I would guess he's a good Dazzle too. I don't think I've seen too many games of it, but that kind of falls under the same category as well.
How many times have you seen an Invoker? Like, we're 17 minutes in, he has a level 3 Necro book up and running already. This is already problematic. Way too sexy is coming over. They see the Firefly is down, and Firefly will actually reveal the fact they're coming in on him with a 4-star and Blink Dagger available. There's no way they can catch up to him, even with the Centaur ulti. This just ensures tier 1 tower in mid, while up on top lane, Arteezy secures the tier 1 tower up there. Fortification's also slowing him down. We've got TPs coming in towards middle lane. And now, Wraith King will arrive. Ulti's not available for him just yet, but they're just killing up the Necro units to start with. Another interesting...
Their health for it.
Yeah. But they've got the Vampiric Aura from Wraith.
Radiant's middle
There it
tower
is.
That was really close to getting it on the siege creep, actually.
What do you actually think about this build coming out from Wraith King? Because I know most Wraith Kings will get like 1 point stats, 4 points blast, and then it's a 1-1-1 across the board. But this is now the second time I've seen Zai put 3 points up into Vampiric Aura and not get a single point in crit.
In 9 out of 10 cases. When you're playing a support Wraith King,
Dire's middle
since he got his
tower is
intel
under
buff,
attack.
he has enough mana to
Radiant's
support a
bottom
couple of Wraithfire
tower is
blasts
under
and his ult if he has a
Radiant's
wand.
bottom tower has
So getting that
fallen.
Vampiric Aura up is just crucial for your team, and since it affects ranged
Dire's
heroes now
middle
as well, I
tower
feel like
is
this
under
ability
attack.
is incredibly good.
But to even pass up, like it's 5% when you pass up your critical damage of 150% with a 15% chance for it.
Dire's
Yeah, the
top
thing is,
tower
it's
under attack.
150% damage, right? So he does 50% damage, not 150.
Yeah.
So those crits are really... When you look at his damage, he has 100, so he crits for 50 extra damage.
Or
Radiant's
top lane.
bottom tower
Not
is
even having to
under
use Shadow Blade, but a triple support coming in. He has got to go Invis right now. 4-star Shadow Blade away to safety. It was the 4-star from the Bat Rider, but they forced triple TPs, and now the Hex Demon caught up to him. The Centaur already helping it. The Shackles will come down. There's no arrow available. The Sunstrike will connect, and Bulba comes in to help out, but it will be the Ether Shock of Demon to take the kill.
That was a lot of TPs, but I think that's worth it to get Arteezy down.
Did he spend his money
the
before
longer
death?
they delay his BKB, the more chances they have of winning the mid game.
But
And
they're still giving space to Luna at the same time. She's still
That's
sitting
true.
at the highest net worth on the board. It only takes one major carry to push Liquid back completely.
with Mason going for this build, with the Yasha first, if he finishes the Manta instead of going BKB, that might give a little bit of an opening for Liquid in their strategy here. Where they're brute forcing mid tier 2, I think this is the perfect call. They just need to be careful with that.
Yeah, but they're here without their two supports. It's just the 3 cores. Massive mods right now that have this already. Now the big Blink Dagger in, TC's already been dragged back. Aegis more triggered instantly, and the Clips though being weighted. Demon! Whoa, he comes in, loses a lot of his line points, but they do at least bring down. Well, yeah, they still haven't. Mason's inside the wards, and they just let him attack from inside the wards. Wait, he finally turns into it, but it'll just give so much space for DPS. And now with a Breeze Fire, they gotta try and find Kuiper. He's running down Southway, and Chance is running away the other direction. Invis turns around, and now Breeze Fire goes the wrong direction. Detection somewhere.
Who goes for this kill?
Oh, they saw it. They saw the effect. He's going to DP out. Oh, they got the
What's
stun.
on with the ward?
The observe ward's on the hill. They throw him around the corner for it.
Oh boy. You're right. How the hell did Luna survive that long?
They never attacked.
Okay, Mason, you're way too far in here. He just committed way too hard.
The ST disrupted, and then
They just let him be.
three came out. The illusions died almost instantly, but the Mass Serpent Wards were attacking everything else around him, and never even once attacked on top of the Luna. And Enchantress was sitting there trying to bring down what was the DK who was causing troubles, but they never thought, hey, the Luna's still alive up to this point. Maybe they thought he was dead, because the ST disruption, it was really difficult to see inside the Mass Serpent Wards. I may have just forgotten about it.
That
We
was
had a
just
big green
such
bar
a
above his
weird
name.
fight. That was really crazy. And as I pointed out, I think TC died twice in that fight, right? They did catch him.
Yeah,
broke the
they
X, and
took
killed
him
again.
straight away with the lasso.
Yeah. So that's the problem. If they catch him and they take him down, they can instantly Dragon Tail him when he comes up again, or catch him in some other way. Just they have many ways of dealing with this Mirana, and
They're about to kill Luna.
Yep.
If they can get up the high ground without being spotted, she
way.
finished the stack too early. Now they need to have a tactical pause. Interesting timing
Arteezy,
for it.
there's a very big chance here that you will get ganked. Use your Shadow Blade and run north.
Do they have detection? Because the dust was, they have dust and
Sentries on
sentries. He's at the back of the pack though.
This is a pretty close game though. It's mainly experience that EG are leading on with about 6k, but the gold is only 1500, and of course it's because they're 2 towers behind, so if they manage to claim those, then they have about almost 5k gold. So it is starting to get significant, and the most worrying thing for Liquid at this point is that with the item builds they're going for, with a Maelstrom on Mirana and only a Blink Dagger on Centaur, I don't think they have what it takes to take a mid-late game fight. They only have their mid-game, and then it's going to fall apart. Mirana can't commit. That's the worst thing for her. She's constantly exposed. There's a Shadow Blade, Dragon Knight. If he gets a stun, she's dead.
Yep.
If she gets lassoed, she's dead. And you can't even item build for that with Mirana in this game. But BKB isn't going to cut it. You're just still going to get caught out and just get blown up to pieces because there's no defensive support to save you.
Poor Demon is going to get so much flame after this game.
What did he do?
It was his Mass Serpent once on the Luna.
Oh.
So, well, let's watch DK right now. So Arteezy is walking up. Now the Centaur ulti will go. Shadow Blade's up, and now they're going to decide where to go. Dust and Sentry Ward, and they do catch Arteezy. He hit in the corner, Sunstrike, Impetus, everything they've got. He at least gets a Breathe Fire off before death. I still put it at a point where, like, okay, BKB gets delayed on the DK, but what is allowing Liquid to force high ground yet? And what's going to let him win in the late game? I'm still looking at a Luna who could finish up, and I'm wondering if she's going to skip it and just have 2 incompleted items. Yeah, I think she is. I think she's getting a BKB right now. Yeah. That's why the Ring of Aquila is being dropped.
It's the best choice.
You got a Helm and you've got a Yasha. That's meant to be for Manta and Satanic, but they're not ready for that point yet.
They can't kill him. If he's in BKB, he can just go in and start.
They can kill Wraith King though. Actually, no, they can't. They tried. And now Blink Dagger, Lasso up. They just drag the Enchantress. Arrow will fly in. That connects on the Wraith King, and Waytu can finish the job. So at least they get rid of the Wraith King ulti. And the Mass Serpent Wards have already taken away half of the life points from this tier 3 tower on top. Someone's going to come in here and farm them up and kill them off. But in the meantime, they never drag Luna off the bottom lane. She's still farming up. DK's here in the middle lane keeping it out. I'm still not seeing this as a loss. Every even trade is a win for EG. And I know I'm being like, maybe I'm starting to sound like an EG fanboy. What the heck's going on here?
No, that's just what
Liquid are on the clock.
The game is right now. That's how it is. If they get even trades, it's favoring them. I feel like it's down to Mass Serpent Wards to win this game. They need to take towers and they need to take racks with those because they have no other way of doing it. But those and the Necro 3 on Koikva.
Well, while we have ourselves a moment for EG come out, man. Chat trivia time. Who is the only Dota 2 hero currently in captain mode who has not been picked in 6.81 Pro Dota 2 matches?
Bum, 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 bum.
I need to bring up my hero page on my side.
I know Huskar was picked. I know Zeus was picked.
I know PA was also picked earlier on.
Damn it, let me see the hero list.
I assume Undying was picked at some point.
I was tempted to say that actually, but I think he's been picked too. Medusa? Is she in CM?
Yeah, she's in CM.
Fortified.
Did she get picked once?
No.
She got buffed in this version though. She's a lot better now.
We'll go to our fight in the meantime. As the tier 2 tower is just getting like manhandled up by EG.
I'm gonna say Necrophos, he never gets picked.
No, I see a Necrolite. I see a Necrolite.
You did?
Yeah, I saw a Necrolite.
Okay, then I say Dusa, but I'll say Medusa.
Say Medusa. I'm not wanting to disagree with you. I think you're probably right, dude.
But it would actually be shocking if she wasn't picked in 681, because she got a lot better, and she actually was picked sometimes in 80. But it's just a hero that I feel like teams never even think about. And it's a hero, a team like EG, I feel like could really make use of that hero.
She is in CM. Yeah, she is in CM. Medusa is correct. Necro, Spirit Breaker, Troll, Pudge have been picked once on each. Really? Only one Pudge? Huh. And then Troll? Poor Troll. Whatever happened to him? Whirling Axe is nerf.
Okay. I think...
DK?
I think we're gonna have other stuff to talk about in a second now.
Yeah, Mason just... not Mason, Arteezy. Be careful there in the middle lane. They put down the Observables, they saw him go in bits. He's just gonna come in, farms up the Necro units. They're good money. He's got regeneration, denies up the tower as well. And Liquid are just trying to go for a split push. TC, man, he's really lacking a lot of damage. We're 25 minutes in, and he just spent his money on the Mjolnir recipe. There's no buyback available here for TC. Needs another 2,000 gold before he can even finish up the Mjolnir. Oh no, I take it back. The Courier actually has the Hyperstone. So he's buying out for this. And it looks like EG's going to try and force mid. I don't know how successful they get. Actually, no, they're going to be very successful. They got 5 heroes ready to push this one out. Maybe not wasting your mana on Hellfire Blast, but Blink Dagger is there as well for the Wraith King, and they push high ground. So the tier 3 tower on the top lane is being attacked, while TC's trying to force the bottom lane with a Hellbear Smasher helping him out. But once these glaives start ripping through...
Why are you letting them do this?
I don't know.
Are fortified.
And Serpent was down. They can't trade that well up against the Luna. The Glaives will always make it, so you have a bad trade. Million Rose goes down, and they can TP back. Bulba's looking for a pick-off as they retreat. Now, Tier 3 tower, it's not even down yet. The Tier 3 tower only just dropped.
Bottom barracks are under attack.
I don't know. And Arteezy has now got himself extra cash by taking out the wards.
Okay, that was weird. Not gonna lie. That was so far from going well. I'm really surprised they thought they could get away with that.
What, was Liquid just sitting there thinking they couldn't
trade would
take
be
it?
good for them. Like, Liquid can't be satisfied with trading. So even if that would have worked, it would have still been a bad call, I feel.
They're going to come in for Roshan. They just saw the observer wards there, which means they're revealed. Jump in already by Universe. He wasn't in range to get the last Lasso up. And they look inside the pit. Wraith King, mini stun, but they force-staff him up to keep up with them. Now the Moonlight Shadow will go, and maybe they can turn around, but there's no mass Serpent wards here. And Wraith King has still got his ultimate available. Kuiper, he comes out to fight. These illusions will clean up the, actually no, it will just be Wraith King. Cleans up the last of the Necro minions. And they send the illusions high ground. Now Bulba's gone all sparkly with Mjolnir, but they've all been scouted out. And with the illusions bounce damage, it puts his Blink Dagger on cooldown, so he can't go in. And who's he going to jump on? Luna straight away? This girl's got a BKB, and same with the DK. Now Arrow will come in, easily evaded. Batrider is over the cliff line too. Blink Lasso, and he got one. And he drags him all the way in. It's Kuiper, the Eclipse to go with the BKB. Centaur will evaporate, as well as TC. The Babaev come from Invoker, but it's already too late. They've lost their other two cores. They're going to lose Roshan as well, and they've got no way in. Mass Serpent wards are there for Demon, but he can't stop them. EG, they're looking unbeatable right now inside the pit.
That's almost the end of it, because when they start going, when they go high ground now in the top lane with an Aegis this time, and this time Liquid are definitely going to be fighting, right? But I just don't know if they have enough anymore. They just gave a little bit of extra gold, they gave the Aegis, and BKBs will be ready again, I think. Dragon Form will be down though, so maybe...
They're fighting Luna 2 times over. While they fight Luna 2 times over, they can't win it. Dragon Form even being down, like... want to wait 1 minute and then go in. That's all. Demon was trying to go for this split push and trying to find this the last bit of money to let him finish up his Aghanims. He's still about 500 gold away from having it though. And they're still only level 2 Mass Serpent wards. But EG will back up. They're under no pressure, remember. They don't need to force high ground while their abilities are on cooldown. They just wait it out, let DK finish up his Assault Cuirass. Let the Wraith King have himself his Heaven's Halberd, which is currently sitting over on the Courier. And the Batrider is actually having himself some more fun. Bulba, Flame Break pushed around. Luna is up here, but they just got to kill on the Centaur. That could just be the opening. With an Alpha Wolf behind him, they've already got now huge amounts of damage with Lifesteal. This is a straight push through bottom lane. Take tier 2, take tier 3 tower. Maybe Rax if Liquid aren't fully prepared for him.
Yeah, with Dragon Knight level 16, it becomes that much more scary. And of course, they always have the ability to make the illusions of the Luna with level 4 disruption.
Boy.
They can just slow siege with 4 Luna illusions. Pop the Manta, use the disruptions, and just start hitting the tower. And if Liquid try to come in close, they die to the splash from the glaives. They don't have that good wave clearing either, which means they do have Ethershock. They have Ethershock, Starstorm, and a Meteor. So, but Meteor has a 60-second cooldown or 55, so it's a little... That's a big cooldown to spend on killing illusions, but they might have to. This tower is definitely gone, and I don't see Liquid getting a trade. Not at all, and they wouldn't be satisfied with it anyway. I think this could be the last fight of the game right here.
Oh, he's so close to Demon. Arteezy would have been itching on that Dragon Tail. But he knows he needs to have it right now as they push through bottom lane. Gets the Arcane Boost from PPD, and now the Frost Dragon is up. Also, Blink him, stuns up. They give TC out this one. Remember, all they want is the tower down, but they got it more. They got Bulba again, the Lasso again. Universe able to hunt him out. The Mass Serpent wards do go down, but they're going in so deep. The Eclipse is gone, and they just turn onto the Mass Serpent wards. They get rid of all of the DPS of Team Liquid. PPD is just hovering around looking at TC. Forced after wait, the tower's about to go down, and now the glaze will start to bounce. There's no blinking in fact, there's a blinking in coming in from the Raid King. Nicely disjointed by Invoker himself, but they're looking over to way too sexy. Dragon Dust on Koifa, Frost Dragon, there's no Breathe Fire mana for it, but the Lucid Beam from Luna will take the kill. Up to way too sexy, Raid King almost dead, but it's enough. Untouchable, not making it easy, but this is GG. This will be bottom racks, this will be mid towers, and I think I'm gonna call it coming down from Liquid.
Dire's bottom barracks is
Fun from Demon, but this game is over at EG. They have a 2-game advantage right now here in the best of, or the 1-game advantage coming in the best of 5. One victory will send them to Frankfurt for the ESL 1 Grand Final.
Very well played game. I have to commend Liquid on their early game. I think they're playing such a great early game, but there just seems to be something lacking in their strategy or the way they transition into the mid game, which it seems like they have to work on, because in game number 1 they have an excellent early game. They